Hello everybody, my name is Ike, and today we are going to be continuing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is part 2, and today we're going to finish the Great Plateau. We just have the 3 shrines to do. Talking to me about the DLC. So let's jump right in. So in the last episode, if you didn't watch it, maybe you did yesterday and you can't remember anything about it. So what we did, we started off, we got the tower, we got Magnesis, and we came back towards the Temple of Time and we got the warm doublet. So, and we got this little guy, Korok. There's lots of these in the Great Plateau. So actually what you want to do, you want to get as much as you can. So let's just sit by the fire until the morning. So actually, to save time, I'm going to be going over to the bomb shrine. And if you have the DLC, I said in the last video that there are 3 chests on the Great Plateau for the DLC. And they are a ruby, which is next to the Oman Owl Shrine, the Magnesis Shrine. There's 5 bomb arrows close to the CRYONIS Shrine. And then over at the bomb shrine, there is a shirt. Yes, in the early game, you're going to want to pick up as much mushrooms and stuff as you can. And bladed rhino beetles, I cannot talk, are a lot more useful than you would think. Because you can actually use them as, well, they're bladed rhino beetles, so there is different types of bugs in Breath of the Wild, and rhino beetles are I think they would be considered like the best bug to have in the game. So actually what we're doing, trying to remember the path to take. I think it's up here. Okay, so the trick for this, you're going to want to stay on top of these walls. Otherwise, these things called guardians are going to spot you. And they are not fun to deal with, especially early game. So just stay on top of the walls, go slowly if you have to. So that one right there, that one is active. That one right there is active. So here's our Nintendo Switch shirt. Because apparently this is canon in the Zelda game. So, this shrine is pretty easy. And it's actually the most useful for speedrunners. Yes, bomb trial. I cannot pronounce anything that is not in English. And, like, I know I can't even remember any of the Japanese I've been learning. I'm trying to learn Japanese because I want to visit Japan sometime, like, if I went on a honeymoon. Like, just theoretically, that's never gonna happen. But yeah, I've heard that it's a great honeymoon destination and just a great vacation spot, as there is a ton of cuisine. Japanese cuisine is actually really good, and Chinese buffet is really good too. Like, they have sushi. I don't like sushi as much because my body can't handle raw fish, and if I'm correct, let's say travelers more. So, yeah. So actually, pretty soon we're gonna drop this Bokoblin club. Yeah, Boko club. Wait, no, it's a Boko. Yeah, it is a Boko club. So actually, what we're gonna do? So you need to take the square bombs here. You need to put. That was easy. Completely forgot you can do that. In this part, there's two options you can take. You can either do this, and we are gonna go to the chest over there. Because we like chests, we want to get as much stuff. That's another thing. Rupees are gonna be your best friend in an early game. I mean, eventually there is a way to get infinite rupees, but nobody does that early game. I mean, that's just something you do late game to experiment. Okay, so we have to drop this one more time. Yep, we got. And a way to check if you got everything in our shrine, if there's a little treasure chest next to the name, you have everything. And that is super useful because if you're going for the what people call the true 100%, obviously there's the 100%, you know. There's your standard 100%. But the true 100% would be you open every chest. Like, the point of the 100%, I don't think Nintendo believes in achievements. Well, I don't know why, but there's a couple of theories why they don't do achievements, so. Do I want the Guardian cutscene? It'll just take a while. Not worth it because I actually need to travel to the Shrine of Resurrection. So the next thing we're actually going to do, we're going to go up to STASIS. No, we're going up to CRYONIS. Because it's an easier travel from CRYONIS to STASIS. Which I usually do the Stasis Shrine last, but in reality, you can do them in any order you want, just like the Divine Beast. I wonder if Nintendo did that on purpose. Oh, there's a Korok seed back here, by the way. I don't know if it appears here yet, though. It should. Nope, not yet. You have to leave the grid, that's out. And there's a couple of glitches I'm going to be doing. Well, they're not really glitches, but they're glitches I'm going to be doing throughout this playthrough that are just useful, like whistle sprinting. So hold forward on the left stick, push down on the D-pad to whistle, and hold that. And spam the B button, and you won't use any stamina when you... It's very close to sprinting. It is not exact, though. So let's climb up here. If I'm correct, it's 2 jumps. Nope, we are on the wrong part of the wall. Yeah, 2 jumps, then you can whistle sprint up. So there's another Bokoblin camp up there. Oh, there's one right here. What weapons do you have for me? I'm actually really... You guys have nothing. You guys are pathetic. So, I'm just gonna ditch. Hopefully I can get something. So we're gonna do this enemy camp up here. Not this one up on the hill. A different one. So you might want to have the Highland trousers for this next one we're gonna do. And a wooden weapon is gonna be nice because we are gonna want to be able to get Oh, am I wrong? Oh. I can't get me, bitches. Okay, so this person right here. Shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Travis sword. Yes, we got it. So this sword, this is a soldier's broadsword that we're gonna get right here, assuming we defeat him, which we will. Just flurry rush on him. So yes, we actually got another shield too, a spiked Boko shield. And a soldier's broadsword. Keep this. Do not use it. Or at least try not to. We can actually get Boko guts. So where are you, punk? There you go. And headshot it to insta-kill it. I should still have the bow. And so we can get this chest. So honestly, if you're gonna come do this camp, I would probably say wait until after the plateau. It just makes it a little easier. And up here, you're going to use magnesis to get to the shrine. And I'm actually gonna try and find bombs. So we should be safe. Yes, make sure you do not fall in this water. Very dangerous. It will kill you more or less instantly. And snow does make you travel slower. There are a few things we can do to get rid of this, but as of now we can't, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna look for those bomb arrows because I just want to have them. And the reason we want bomb arrows right off of the Great Plateau, we actually don't. Generally. We want to save bomb arrows. We want a ton of bomb arrows for a couple of the divine beasts. Mainly Vanaboris, it's extremely useful to have bomb arrows. And the same with Vamedo. Yeah, Vamedo, if you don't have bomb arrows, it's still gonna be easy. It's just gonna be a little hard. I might have to jump this. Actually, no. Vamedo is a little easier with bomb arrows. The boss of Vamedo. Windblade Ganon. Okay, let's try this. That was not a shield, sir. Yeah, skew on the Great Plateau. Oh no, I lost my skew. Boo. So we're actually going to get another weapon here, so if you have too many weapons, drop your bokoblin stuff first. If you don't, drop a woodcutter's axe. If you have stuff that is not bokoblin, even a spiked bokoblin is better. I would recommend keeping those for early game. And we can actually skip this shrine if we have bombs, but we're not gonna. CRYONIS. I think it's CRYONIS. Or not CRYONIS. So this shrine is pretty easy until you do that. So, and you can also break it. And another thing you can do, if you press L and down on the D-pad, you can aim underfoot, which is extremely useful. So, bring up this wall. Shoot, I think the guardian's on. Dang it. That's not fun. Well, I guess I did use it. It's my fault. So actually what we're gonna do, we're gonna place 2 blocks, one right there, and one right there. I should be able to get up there. Well, that was a lie. Yeah, I like the Traveler's Spear. I think it looks pretty cool. My favorite sword in the game. If you're asking which one I use most, I don't really have a good answer for that because I use a ton of swords. The best looking one for most outfits is generally either there's 4 swords. Minish Cap reference. I think 4 sword is the Minish Cap. No, 4 sword is it? I think the 4 sword is in the Minish Cap. Whatever, that doesn't matter. So, where's the fire? I don't know, where's the fire? Coincidence? Oh, I think so. So, there's going to be a couple things we're going to do before we even get off of the plateau. Once we get all 4 shrines, we're going to do some stuff. Do you have any good weapons that I can have? Is there any sort of chest? Is there anything that's not food? Just gonna break. Don't run at me, please. Thank goodness. Okay, there is a Korok seed up here if I remember correctly. That I can't see on the map. But I know there is one somewhere out here. Now my Boko shield is damaged. That doesn't matter, they're not good anyways. Oh, here's the rock that we need. Okay, this is another Korok. There's 900 of these puzzles. 900. There we go. There's 900 of these little things, and they get really annoying, especially rock puzzles like these once you can't find the rock. They get extremely annoying, to be honest. So actually we can go up here. If you didn't get the warm doublet, but you have some warm food, I highly recommend coming up here to Mount Hylia. That makes no sense. It's not even close to the highest place. Yeah, you'd think this area is pretty high when you're starting the game, because, you know, it's called the Great Plateau. No. I'll find the highest point of the Great Plateau, which is here, if I'm correct. I should... Yep, there's neighbor here. This is the highest point on the Great Plateau. We're not even close to Dueling Peaks, Death Mountain, Heber Mountains. I can't see them because they're too far off in the distance. But look at that. That's huge. And even the hills that we can't reach because they're not Hyrule, apparently. I don't understand that part. So let's talk to the old man.
Oh.
Yes, we did. So the old man, there's something about him that if you have played any Zelda game, you probably know what's coming. If you've played the Wind Waker, kind of the same effect, but it's not the same effect. So all you gotta do, I hope this breaks because I don't want to use it. Come on. And you can do tricks. Yes, break. Break. How is this thing not broken yet? Dang it. You should be broken. Actually, I don't think it can break when it's on snow. Yeah, so here we are at the final shrine of the Great Plateau. Actually, one of the final shrines. Yay! Ragdolling. My favorite. Yeah, let's get this Pollard. Pollard is my best friend. And I'm actually gonna drop this so we can make... Never mind, we didn't need a big space. I would die on a shrine. This is the last part. This shrine will take about 3 minutes. I think we timed that just right. I'm of the speedrunner and we just messed up. You have to break it. So we actually can get English. Come on. Dang. So just wait. Come on. Ooh, there we go. Okay, sprint, whistle sprint up here. To get a pretty nice shield. It looks cool for sure. Traveler shield. It looks pretty cool. So we're gonna pick up the iron sledgehammer. We're actually not gonna use it now. We want to keep it for more money. Stasis this. Hit it once. Only once. That should be all you need. And only once with a spear, mind you. Spears are the weakest weapons. Your resources and overcoming the trust me. Yeah, I know. Kind of a beast. It's me talking as Link. So, we have a choice to make now. We have 4 spirit orbs. Think of spirit orbs as pieces of heart, like in past Zelda games, in literally every other past Zelda game. Why can't you be a normal Zelda game Breath of the Wild? I'm pretty sure it actually always comes out It's like nighttime. Yep. He just ghosted us. Hahaha. Funny joke. You can laugh if you want. Kidding you guys. So just warp to the Shrine of Resurrection unless you know how to stasis launch. I don't want to because I want to keep my map clean from red X's as long as I can. So the place where the 4 shrines mark as an X, how much trouble I had with this. Just think of it right here. Just think of the bomb trial and the CRYONIS trial. Where do they cross? They cross the Temple of Time. They cross right here. Pretty sure they actually cross I'm pretty sure they actually cross up there too. So we can get some extra dialogue before we actually get up to the Great Plateau, which I'm gonna get because yes, you see the goddess statue now has a glowing aura around it. So we have a choice to make. You can either go with stamina or you can go with hearts. So if you're playing in Master Mode, unless you're doing a 3-heart challenge, if you're playing in Master Mode and doing a 3-heart challenge, you're whack, because I know you guys probably run from enemies. Jump up as fast as you can. You can't be too slow when you're doing it. So let's go to the goddess statue. Pray. She can offer us great power. So you can get 1/5 of a stamina vessel, or 1 full heart container. So we are actually going to go with the heart container, just because it is. I'm gonna play this game like most casual players. This is gonna be a pretty casual playthrough. So doing this triggers some extra dialogue.
Oh!
Yep. Yes, the blessing of the goddess. And whether you get hearts or stamina first is up to you. As always, I am not going to control your playthrough, unless you want to follow my playthrough. But because I'm in normal mode, you're probably going to get around 15, 16 hearts. Yes, there's 30 hearts in this game, unlike the 20 or 16 or the health meter that was in previous games.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless.
So we are gonna watch this full
It
cutscene.
devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path.
Bad idea.
We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts.
Daru.
With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining.
Stuff happens. No! So, yeah.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you,
Link.
You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later.
So this is actually kind of cool, the way they did this.
Since your awakening from Princess Zelda herself.
That they...
Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out...
I'm gonna skip this one too. So, yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the way they did that. They kept Zelda the same age too, so we can assume they are roughly 20 years old. Actually, no, because... No. Because they're both almost exactly the same age. It's a really sad moment. The king had good intentions. My inventory's full. Yay, we can drop a Bokobo. Yeah, I'm actually gonna drop 2 of them. So now that we have the paraglider, there's not a ton that we can do on the Great Plateau. I'm gonna find at least one more Korok. Yeah, so the paraglider obviously depletes your stamina. Wow, nice job, Isaac. You missed it. Goodness. Oof. Oh. So yes, again, there's 900 Korok seeds. So actually, we are going to travel to the Stasis trial because we want to sleep in a bed or sit by a fire until morning. Also, later in the game, there are going to be things known as stables. Yes, there's horses in this game. And as I said in the last video, with, like, if you have a Twilight Princess or Super Smash Brothers for Wii U / 3DS Link, you do not want to use those amiibos until you are off of the Great Plateau. This bed seems very uncomfortable. So, actually, let's go beat this army camp, or this Wakabo camp. Another thing, bullet time. There's no way that hit. So yeah, take as much of them out of bows as you can. Yeah, that opens up a chest. Can't remember if we got... No, we didn't. But there's still a number of things we can do on the Great Plateau, and we need to set fire to an arrow. Shoot it here. Seared steak. Get out of here, bee. That can help with you. Really? Are you serious? Oh my god. Well, we got 5 bomb arrows out of the deal, so I'll take it. It melted the bee honey. That, I didn't get bee honey. That's super annoying. So actually, if you come across these crates, use your woodcutter's axe to break them. These acorns. Actually, I don't think I really can. What will be in the chest? Find out next time. Never mind. We're not gonna find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. So I have 2 throwing spears. This is a lizard. We want lizard. Crouch. Crouch jump. Take the lizard. We're gonna eat it later. Later. SpongeBob. And actually, we could go beat the star, but do I though? We don't have a multi-shot bow. kind of thinking. And I could get lots of rupees, but I could die. But I could get lots of rupees. Oh, we don't want the tree branch. Good. We hate tree branches. Tree branches are the worst thing in the game. They have like 3 durability, I think. It's more than that.
Dude.
Yeah, potland surfing. Oh shoot. We need to. Attaboy, Link. That's how you do it. Climb up those hills like you're in soccer. Oh, I could bounce this. Or wind bomb. You dumb whore. Okay, we are not gonna break this because boom. Oh shoot. That takes 3 hearts away. Boom. You're dead. Yes, we want the shield. So yes, we got a spiked book, another spiked Boko shield, which we are going to be dropping kind of soon, not really soon though. And we got a spiked Boko club, so let's use that. And actually, let's drop the pot lid because there's one thing that we don't want, it's that. And actually, while we're at it, let's drop the rest of this Boko stuff. There's 5 fire arrows in here. So this is where I'm ending off today's video. Hopefully another video today if you are watching this on Good Friday. Definitely another video tomorrow, Saturday. Possibly a video on Sunday. But I'm gonna try and upload it once every day, but yeah. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.